what makes this so fascinating to me, guys, is that it was something that was totally unprompted. It was literally the opening statement from Shane Beamer. There was no question asked. I highly doubt Coach Beamer went on social media to see what everybody was saying from the time the game ended to the time he got into the press conference room, right? So I hadn't seen anything. And so in the opening statement, and in case you missed this, Shane Beamer had this to say. So he's talking about we're celebrating this 10-point win. Our guys are dancing around in the locker room. They should be celebrating. And then he said this. This is the direct quote. Quote, there are going to be people that live a miserable existence that are going to say, why are you celebrating a 10-point win over Jacksonville State? Well, that's why you're not on a team. That's why you're not in a locker room. And I get what Shane Beamer's saying there. Listen, winning is hard. And I've said it many times to you guys. When South Carolina wins, we're gonna critique. We're going to be critical. We're going to give analysis. That's what we do. Although many of you don't want to hear it. I get that. A lot of you, some of you, not a lot of you, some of you come to a Gamecocks page and a Gamecocks entity and you expect a Gamecock slant and a Gamecock bias. And that's not what we do here. We call it as is. I call it as I see it. And I am loved and hated for that very reason. So I'm going to do the same right here. I get what Shane Beamer's saying. Celebrate the wins, man. They're hard to come by. Teams lost 4 in a row. Been over a month since you won a game. Nobody's saying your team should not be happy in victory. Nobody's saying that. But to unprompted come out and say, if you're questioning us dancing around like we just won the SEC championship after beating a first-year FBS team by 10, well, you live a miserable existence. I just, guys, I don't understand. Like, I genuinely, I don't understand. I don't understand why Shane Beamer has to live this, like, why he has to have this boulder-sized chip on his shoulder towards his own fan base. Towards his own fan base. The people who spend money, who donate, right? Fans are being asked to do more than they ever have now. They're spending money on everything to get to the games, watch the games, go to the games. Now we need more for NIL, right? I'm being told there's Garnet Trust ads being run every 30 seconds in the stadium on the scoreboard. Give more, give more, give more. And Shane Beamer wants to tell people, if you have an opinion on how that game was played, if you have an opinion on the fact that we almost lost to an FBS team, you live a miserable existence and you need to find some joy. That was Shane Beamer's version of STFU. That's what that was. I just don't understand it. I don't get it. Like, I just don't get it, guys. And I don't want to spend this entire show talking on it, but Shane Beamer missed the mark. He missed the mark yet again. Is it a huge deal in the grand scheme of things? Not necessarily, guys, but let me put it to you this way, okay? Let me put it to you this way. This goes in every walk of life. You can love this, you can hate this, but this is the truth. Let's say I'm running a business, which I am. Let's say I'm running a sales organization, and I've got a salesman that's elite. He's top tier. He's the best in the company, but he's a douchebag. Well, he can get away with it because he's elite. He's exceptional, right? We see it all across all walks of life. Exceptional people get away with things. They get away with, they don't have to have the greatest personality, right? You would prefer they do, but they don't have to. Top performers, they can get away with things that those who are not top performers can't get away with. So you've got this other guy. He's a mid-tier salesman, right? He's okay. He's not great. He's just right in the middle, but he's got a great personality. Everybody loves working with him, man. He's a team player. He's, somebody everybody gets along with. That guy's going to last. He's a clubhouse guy. That's what we call a clubhouse guy. He's a clubhouse guy. He's not going to be a future all-star, right? He's okay. He's solid, but he's not great, but he's a clubhouse guy. He keeps camaraderie high, keeps the clubhouse together. That guy can't have the attitude that a top performer has if he wants to go off and be a douchebag and be standoffish. And so I bring that back to this conversation, guys. Shane Beamer, you have not earned the right to take shots at people left and right. What have you done? Outside of Tennessee and Clemson, outside of catching fire for 2 weeks, what have you done to throw this shade at people? And to do it unprompted. I mean, I for the life of me can't understand it. I guess if you want to surround yourself in an echo chamber and hear nothing but positivity and find some joy in how great you are, even though you suck, then that's on you. But that's not real life. That's not the reality. It's crazy. And to just take an unprompted shot at folks. And you can miss me with the, like, if you, listen, I get it. This is college athletics. There are people that look at Shane Beamer, Brian Kelly, Nick Saban. They look at their head coaches as more than mortal. They are gods in their eyes. More than mortal. I understand that. So you're never in a million years going to hear these college fans, some of these people say even one slightly controversial word. And guys, I'm still behind Shane Beamer. I still think Shane Beamer can be the guy. But bro, it is year 3. You got to start getting this press conference thing figured out. You got to start taking a deep breath. And you know what? If this team was, even if they were 6-3, maybe that flies. Hey, don't be miserable. We just punched our ticket to bowl eligibility. Ironically enough, I think it was Saturday or Sunday, was the 1-year anniversary of the Find Some Joy comment after the Vandy game. In that scenario, hey, you're bowl eligible. Find some joy. But this team is 3-6. You don't want people to be critical, have an opinion, and they live a miserable existence if they do so? I just don't get it. I don't get why he's got that chip on his shoulder, man. I don't get it. I don't get it. And to do it unprompted, there's something in there deep, man. Like there's some disdain, there's some anger, there's some resentment. Maybe it's at me, maybe it's at people on social media, maybe it's at Paul Feinbaum, maybe it's some of these national guys out there that have been really critical of him. I don't know. But I can tell you this, operating out of a place of gratitude and grace and perspective and empathy, controlling what you can control, not caring so much what everyone thinks about you, that's a lot better way to operate, man, than coming out in a post-game press conference when you should have lost. You should have lost. You should have lost that football game. You deserve to lose. You had to win the turnover margin 4-0 to beat Jacksonville State. All due respect to Rich Rod's team. And you're coming out here wanting people to throw you a parade, and you're beating your chest and saying that you're a miserable existence human being if you're not celebrating us. How dare you say anything negative about that win? Give me a break. You can spew that bullshit to somebody else who wants to hear it, man. Just absurd, man. Just absurd. You know what? You go win some games. Go win 10 games next year. You can be the biggest cocksucker you want to be. And I'm not calling Shane Beamer that, but I'm saying you can say whatever you want, but like have a feel, man. People are upset. They're frustrated. Great win, but come on, man. Come on. Have a feel. Top performers, those who are exceptional, get away with things. You got to earn that, though. And again, I don't get taking shots at the people who give everything they have to the program, who have just been there for years and years and have sat through 0-11 and 1-10. I just don't get it. I do not get it. I don't get it. So it's very, very similar to the Dabo situation at Clemson. I will say that. Dabo Swinney, Hey, when they were winning national titles, nobody gave a damn what Dabo said. It was just like, haha, funny. Now that they've started losing, isn't it funny how that doesn't really fly anymore? So that's a great example right there. Anyways, I hate that I spent that much time talking about that, but it's a top storyline. It's a top storyline. It's a top thing to talk about. It is what it is. It just and it's funny. I had somebody reply after the game when I post the clip. Nobody cares about this but you. Well, 300,000 views later on social media. I think a few people care out there.